welcome to Women's Z Bola Show, your only show that is dedicated to women's football in Zambia. I am your host, Wupe Jen.
And my name is Taonga Durasarawa. This episode is called a special edition where we're going to discuss quite a number of topics right here at the Z Women's Bola Show. To start with Zesco United's dominance in the Indeni University Women's Super League, well, the Ndola derby that took place on Saturday between Zesco Ndola girls and Indeni Football Club.
We're also going to talk about the senior Copa Queens that have been grouped, and not only that, we're also going to talk about the junior Copa Queens, talking about the Cosafa 2024. Now, with that being said, we're going to start with Zesco dominance. So, Taonga, kindly highlight us on the Zesco dominance with how they played their Ndola derby against Indeni Roses.
Zesco Ndola girls have played 13 games, and this time around they are 13 games unbeaten. They've won each and every game. And they played against Indeni over the weekend. It was an electrifying match. Everybody thought as if Indeni were going to steal the game because of how they led the game. Down the Zesco Ndola girls were down, and Indeni Roses were soaring, and they thought they were going to collect all the 3 points. But guess what? We have players like Freedom Koma who had to step up for Zesco Ndola girls and defeated Indeni Roses, and the game ended Zesco Ndola girls 3 and Indeni Roses 2. That's how a derby is supposed to be. There was no favorite in that game. But at the end of the day, we have to look at the dominance that Zesco Ndola girls have brought this time around. We can see how they built their character throughout the season. From the time it started, it's different from how it was last season and the other season. We can tell that this time around, they know what they want. They want to win the trophy at the end of the day. Because all these seasons, Green Buffaloes have been winning the leagues. But now, Zesco Ndola girls are always second. They perform each and every season, but this season they brought out a character, a winning character, such that they would want to play other tournaments if they win the Indeni University Women's Super League. Well, looking at the derby, Zesco Ndola girls have been impressive. In the last 3 seasons, they've not lost a single game. In the 6 games that they've played in the last 3 seasons, they've won 4 and only drawn 2. It means that Zesco United Ndola girls are really dominating, and this time around they are dominating even more, because last season they were unbeaten for like 12 games. But this time around, they've exceeded that number. It means that they know what they want, and their character this time around is a winning character. They know where they want to be at the end of the season.
Looking at the teams that are playing and now they are coming up, the most promoted ones, do you think there is other teams that are catching that can stop Zesco from coming down from the top, coming down?
Well, of course, there's not really a team right now, because Zesco Ndola girls are like ahead by 8 points. That's a big number. And then you look at the second team that's there, this Red Arrows. And then the third team is, of course, Indeni Roses. And the last team is Blue Eagles. And if you look at that, we don't even have Green Buffaloes yet in the top 4. And Green Buffaloes already have like 5 games in hand, which means that that's like 15 points. So can Green Buffaloes actually step up and win all the 5 games? It means that they'll be on top. Eventually, they can even surpass Zesco Ndola girls. But because of this character that Zesco Ndola girls have built this season, it's going to be very hard to take on the girls this season.
We have seen how Zesco is performing right now. We are hoping that they can bring it this time around. They can get the title. Okay, now let's try to move on from that. We'll talk about the performance of the junior Copa Queens when their performance during Cosafa 2024. Let's talk about the flawless performance for the Copa Princesses.
Well, Coach Halubona named or called a team that went for the Cosafa under 20. But to make mention that most of the players who went for the under 20 Cosafa were actually from the under 17. So we could actually see how the girls were fuming from a very disappointing World Cup that they lost when they went to participate. So this time around, the girls were fuming with rage. They had to prove that there was a reason why they went to the World Cup. And Coach Halubona called the under 17 girls. They were exceptionally good at all the games that they played. They did not lose any game. And they did not concede any goal. Leaving Police Dogs goalkeeper to be the goalkeeper of the tournament.
absolutely amazing. They did not concede any goal.
Well, it looks like the Junior Copa Queens are doing the most. Now let's talk about the grouping for the Senior Copa Queens. We have seen that they have been grouped with Morocco again. We can say that there is so much rage in it right now, and most people are calling that as a death of the group. What do you have to say about that?
Well, once again, the senior national team, has been grouped in Group A, and they are with Morocco, of course, the hosts of the 2025 WAFCON, and Senegal. We meet again with Senegal, and well, this Democratic Republic of Congo is going to be like a new thing for us. So what this group is called the death group. Why is it called that? Okay, if you look at Senegal, we defeated Senegal to qualify to the World Cup.
Yes.
So they are fuming with rage to say, okay, these guys didn't even give us a chance to go to the World Cup because the World Cup is the biggest stage. So it means they are also fuming to come up this time, step up and
to show that they have improved.
Exactly. Eliminate Zambia. If you look at Morocco, we've played with Morocco. We've gone head to head, and at the end of the day, Zambia is always the better side. We also defeated them to qualify to the Olympics, which is also a very big stage. So it means that these two countries are actually coming for Zambia, and this time is going to be different because they missed out on the World Cup and they missed out on the Olympics. Well, for Democratic Republic of Congo, we haven't really had that much of a head-to-head with Democratic Republic of Congo, but looking forward to what they will bring to the WAFCON.
So for them, it's like a cool and calm game, but for these other two teams, there is that other thing of raging between to eliminate Zambia from the WAFCON 2025.
Okay, even for DRC, it won't be a cool, calm game because
they want to prove a point.
Yes, they know who they are going to play against, and I feel like for them it's a bit scary because you have to play against Zambia. And if you look at some of the players that are actually playing for Zambia, we have the most expensive players. We have Rachel Kondelange, we have Barbara Banda, and if you can just see how these young players have actually been fitting. If you look at how we participated at the under 17, you look at how we participated at the under 20, the under 20 Cosafa. You look at how we participated also at the senior Cosafa tournament. We have players like Frida Mukoma who are like fuming and they really want to make it for the senior team. So it means that we have those players who are actually going to step up for Zambia. It's not going to be an easy game because at the end of the day, we need two teams to go to the next stage of the competition.
All right. Well, with that being said, we still have a special guest for you who is going to come up, but do not go away. Stay tuned.
Kenneth Yelezo. Let me entice you. Welcome to FN Media, the home of the best branding services.
Are you an organization, a football team or athletics team looking for inexpensive and very comfortable accommodation within Ndola? Well, look no further. EB Lodges of Ndola is the answer. Comprising EB Stadium View Lodge of Twapia, conveniently located near the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium, and EB Guest House of Ndeke, loved by truckers and contractors. You are most welcome. You can book your accommodation in advance by calling 0977-253797 or 0967-253797. EB Lodges of Ndola for your mouth-watering meals and fully stocked bar. Perhaps the bar with the coldest beer in town. Get in touch now. EB Lodges of Ndola for your comfort and leisure.
Welcome back. Special thanks to our sponsors, FN Media and EB Lodges. Well, just like we promised you, we have Van Nicholas Shingwa who has joined us. Welcome to the show, Van Nicholas.
Thank you very much, Tonga. Ladies, I hope you are all okay and also to you also.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you, just like Rupe Jane highlighted, to say we have a special guest that is coming on the show, and well, we're going to talk about a very interesting and intriguing topic. It made a lot of rounds on social media, but Van Nicholas is here to rectify and answer to some of the questions that we have for him. Well, starting with Van Nicholas, we see the initiative that is happening in Chifugu Youth, where you have to give the player of the matches for both female and male some cash, some money. Well, we saw the pitch that was trending where you gave a female player of the match a 50 kwacha. Can you please just quickly highlight us on what's your initiative in giving the money to the player of the match?
Well, thank you very much, Sandra, and thank you, of course, for the opportunity, and just to obviously clarify the round which we're going to say we're giving an amount of 50 kwacha to these young players who are playing, feeling like we are really using them for nothing. Actually, it's just an initiative which we came up about, and obviously it took some time for us to start. I think we started planning and just had to come up. We've written to few sponsors to come on board to maybe give these players. We came up with sponsors for the male, where they are able to give at least a 300 and a 150 to the boys. So and the girl child was neglected. So we were like, okay, we need also to support, because actually there has never been a female team in Chifugu. So it took time for people to accept to say the team in Chifugu now, and also for us to really come up with the idea on how we can support them. That's how we came up with that. It was just a way to start something which we actually, even in our comments, we said if you are willing to support, you can please come on board and come and support these girl child as they are coming. And when you look at the ground level which we are playing, it's just developmental football. We don't really even want to make them, give them a lot of money so that they can be complacent and be comfortable at developmental level. So we just wanted to support and to motivate, because the 50 kwacha for a player who's coming from a parent's place, it will be helpful, trust me. When you look at some of these players, even at National League level, they're even craving for a 30 kwacha, but we looked at it to say, instead of each time you ask, they meet you, they ask for money, we give them to motivate them. They will ask you for a 10 kwacha. So rather than asking for a 10 kwacha, we've told them to work for a 50 kwacha, which can be increased as more people can come on board. We didn't close the idea, but we just wanted to start something. So for those maybe who are not clear, we can say that was the concept. It's just to motivate these players, and it was a beginning, like we said in the beginning.
Thank you very much, man. Let's talk about, we're seeing comments coming to say the 50 kwacha that you are giving, you could, they're talking about the card that you are using to write up the same amount of money. So now people are like, it's better you just give them that rather than doing all the card thing and the likes. So now I could want you to put a clear point on that, on how you manage the most stuff, because people are busy complaining to say it's better you just give them rather than putting it on the board.
Thank you very much. That's also a very important aspect which you brought out, and that's where people maybe are really feeling like it was a letdown. You could have just given them maybe in their pocket. But you know, football nowadays is business, and people are not willing just to give in. They always want to benefit something at the end of the day, in as much as they want to give. And you know, when you walk into this office, they always ask you to say, how are we going to benefit if we support this? So the idea of coming up with that, I think we have to give thanks to FN Media, because they're in print media. When I sent a proposal to them to say we want to be doing play of the match, they were like, okay, we can put for you up this banner, which you can be using as an advertising platform for those who will be coming to sponsor on board. So people were saying there are a lot of sponsors who are coming on board. We had 7 sponsors there, which is Z Football, updates, FN Media as well, Bola, Magic Man, Icon Store, as well as 244 motorways. So when you look at those 244 motorways, are part and parcel. They always send to support. But like I said, for the girl child, it was the beginning. So that banner is also used for the boys. So these are for the boys. We have 3 teams actually in Chifugu, which we give. There's Chifugu Pirates, Chifugu Youth, and then now Moscow Queens, which are playing under the name of Forest Rangers female. So we had to come up with ideas to say how can we also come. So the same banner which we are using for boys, which already has sponsors, is the one which we used for the girls instead, so that more people can see to say they can advertise on that billboard if they can contribute any amount to help a child who's playing football, either boy or girl. So for us, basically, that banner is just to attract more sponsors who wants to come on board, advertise on that billboard. But at the end of the day, we also have Player of the Month award. We also have Goal of the Month award. but you know how social media is, they just pick something which can cause attention, and they actually had to take that out of proportion and also give people a perspective of what we are doing in the community. But at the end of the day, we really appreciate it. Others are coming on board genuinely to actually give us something to say you can start contributing, or maybe start at 200, because 50 kwacha is small, and that's the more people. That's the idea of that concept, so that more people can come on board and contribute to the girl child. So in as much as we are now, I can safely confirm to say in the next few games we have a minimum of 200 to give the next player of the match in the females team from the money we raised after that incident. So thank you very much to everyone who came on board. Others don't want to be mentioned, and others would love to be mentioned. So we'll be able to give a full report on who come on board, because others are actually claiming to say they have given us something. In the actual sense, they are just making up numbers to gain more followers. So we'll be able to write a report on who has given us something and how we're going to split that money, because others are insisting to say the girl has to benefit as well for the embarrassment, because despite us not feeling it was an embarrassment, because those players know what it takes, and they value that 50 kwacha for them. If people outside don't value it, we don't really care actually.
Thank you very much, Van Nicholas Shingwe, for joining us on this show and for clarifying things. You know, it sparked some conversations on the social platform Facebook. But special thanks to our sponsors, EB Lodges and FN Media.
Well, with that being said, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Bola Yakmoiso, as well as Facebook. We do have a page, which is Bola Yakmoiso. And also, don't forget to follow our sponsors, EB Lodges. They have a page on Facebook, and FN Media, they have a page on Facebook. On behalf of the entire crew, which is Bola Yakmoiso, and on behalf of my co-host, who is Daunga Doras Arawa, it's bye for now.